Okay, I'm streaming again. Does my stream work? Gotta check that before anything else. It looks fine. Check some of my audio settings. Okay, they look good too. Am I visible in my camera? Let's find out. Yeah, more or less. Then I guess I can start. I started mixing this song yesterday and now I just continue.
I saw you in my street.
Hello.
You smiled at me and I looked away. You caught me in my dreams. When will I see you again? Will I see you again?
So now the complicated part of mixing this is going to start, which is figuring out what to do next now that all of the things are time aligned. Starting with the drums. Come. Let's just listen to the entire track. Okay, what I always like to do is make sure that the transients of the non-closed mic group are kinda smashed so that the whole dynamics are handled by the closed mics. And I will do that by using Pro C on the group of the non-closed mics. Why did I call them non-closed mics? I could have called that open mics G. Oh, now I remember, because I make a distinction between open mics and room. Okay. Okay, then I keep it like that. Yeah. By dialing in look ahead, I can make sure that it eats the transient pretty well. Okay. Hey, what's up? Nice. Okay, now I made sure that the transients are eaten on the non-closed mics, and I can confirm that now the closed mics only make the transient stick out. Or maybe I should check that in the visualizer before I can really confirm anything. Okay, wait, what? Cursor tracker, okay. Okay, there is some variance in the dynamics, but when I turn it off, it should be even more. Yeah. So I get a sound that is pretty much very similar, let's say, not pretty much the same, but similar, but it has very controlled dynamics. Now I can add even more of that. You are thinking about plugins right now. That's a good way of thinking, but what kind of plugins are you thinking about, art entity? Let's go on with the saturator. It can further smash the transients, but this saturator is oversampled so that it smashes the transients delicately. Even when I'm going that hard. Nice. I want to put them into a chain so that I can give this whole thing a name. So this is the, I don't know, smash transients chain. Next up, I wanna also control the dynamics of the closed mics, but in a different way. You are bored by the plugin market? Yeah, me too. It's I wanted to make plugins for years, a lot of years ago. I already wanted to make plugins, and it would have been exciting if I had started at that point. But unfortunately, I just started making plugins when it started becoming a little bit boring. Not my plugins, of course. My plugins are awesome, but most things are just, I don't know, just another compressor, just another equalizer. Oh wow, they added the transient shaper to an equalizer. Now it's suddenly exciting, allegedly, even though I never liked transient shapers. But okay. Actually, transient shapers could be useful here, but I don't like them in general. Okay, let's see. What can we learn from the kick? Maybe also with a little oscilloscope. That's the kick. So the first thing that I think about is maybe I could gate this a little bit. Huh? Why does it become louder because of that? Oh, it's just played louder in this part, okay. Interesting. Okay, so gating can sound unnatural quickly when there are cymbals involved. So in the parts where there are right cymbals. So I cannot go so hard on it. can I? Maybe I can because there are still the other mics.
You caught me,
I think I actually can. Pretty cool. You are mad at the top companies right now? You mean like Waves and Native Instruments and stuff like that, or what? They are really big. But some of the top companies are actually quite cool in my opinion, like Melodyne for example. I don't have a problem with Ceremony. They well deserved their fame. Oh, the snare is going to be more tricky because it has ghost notes. So I cannot go as high with the ratio. Nice. Yeah. Let's also look at the snare while we're at it, just because we can. Okay, the envelope mode is not the correct one when you have a lot of ghost notes in there. Maybe window and beat. Yeah, that's a very nice looking snare. I like it. So. Plugin has been too expensive. Yeah, some plugins really are. For example, I'm not a big fan of Autotune. Autotune is just way too expensive. I will never buy Autotune. Actually, I'm waiting for the price of Autotune to go lower for a long time now because the plugin is getting old at this point, and I don't know, normally plugins get cheaper when they get old, like all software. But then one day I got an email from Antares. I refuse to call them Autotune because that just confuses things when they have more plugins than just Autotune. So Antares sent an email, one of their emails that they spam you with, and it said, "Oh wow, hurry up buying Autotune now because we will increase the price soon." And I was like, what the fuck, dude? That is the opposite of what you should do, but okay. And yeah, without a subscription, it doesn't even make sense to buy Autotune, but it also doesn't make sense with a subscription because why would I subscribe to a plugin suite that is only for vocals and not even all of the use cases that plugins can have? I could only imagine maybe one day subscribing to a plugin suite that really tries to be all over the place, like this whole plugin boutique stuff and so on, but definitely not Antares. And yeah, as you said, Dash Melda M Auto Pitch is free. Keruvi is also free, and if you want to trigger the pitch changes from MIDI, then there is also Manipulator, which is not free, but it is reasonably priced for its sound quality and also a lot of fun. Okay, what can be done next in this track? The bass is kinda annoying me right now, so maybe let's shape the dynamics a little bit. Bass lines are always super satisfying to look at in an oscilloscope because the waveforms are so clean. Nice. I could look at that all day long. And I sometimes do. So now I'm looking at it from a different perspective. I wanna find out what the transients are doing. Some of them are going a little bit too high. Hello. How's the juice coning been lately? Yeah, I'm still working on Nell, as you all might know. And the last thing that I did was finally implementing the sidechain feature for the envelope follower. So, I cannot. Can I demonstrate it here? Yeah, I think I can. So, when I load Nell and the envelope follower is selected and a sidechain input is selected, for example from the drums, the snare, I guess, then I can use this snare as an input for the envelope follower of the vibrato. Oh, the snare has to be played for that. Or can I make it silent? Oh yeah. Now on a bass line that doesn't make a lot of sense, I think, but it is definitely possible now to add vibrato depending on a different input. Which is kind of cool in some situations. Not this one, but in some. I'm just wondering if I can use this on any sound here in this project. Maybe later. And I'm still wondering if I can use the sidechain input for some of my other modulators too. For example, the LFO. Like what if, I don't know, the input signal has an influence on the rate or on the depth of the whole plugin? That would also be cool. Like, imagine every time the vocal sample gets more intense and louder, all of the synthesizers add vibrato or something like that. That would be cool. But it would mean I would have to implement a whole envelope follower for the entire plugin and not just for the modulators. Another big rewrite. I have way too many ideas for this plugin. It's kind of annoying. Let's not think about that now. Okay, that's cool. Now next thing, a little bit of saturation again. Nice. Okay, cool. Now I'm very happy with the bass line so far. What should I do next? I don't know, maybe control the dynamics of the kick a little bit. Let's just take the signalizer over here. Oh, it's broken. Yeah, this plugin is sometimes a little bit buggy. Okay, new instance. Okay, I wanna kind of bring the body out a little bit because it is very transienty and I don't know, I don't like the way it fades out. It's too smooth. It should be a little bit more heavy at the beginning and then dropping quicker. I don't know. And this is a little bit very spiky. Even for transient, really spiky. How can I do something against that? I know I could use my plugin Manta, but that might mess with the rest of the tracks since I have cautiously time aligned all of this stuff. But I mean, I could still try. Does look better and it sounds better, so I hope it still works with the rest of the music. Yeah, it does. It didn't destroy the relationship of the sounds. That's pretty cool. Bong, 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 bong. 808. That one's not good. One filter is enough here. Okay, that's the second best plugin I ever made from all plugins. And the other ones are cool too, but basically I'm basically using Nell and Manta myself. All of the other plugins I made them, but I'm not using them a lot, to be honest. So I'm very honest about these kind of things. Sometimes you just make plugins because you have a cool idea, but then you notice, okay, the idea needs to be executed better afterwards. And then I'm just writing it to my to-do list that I will have to try the same thing again some other time. What does warmth even do when there is no amount? Nothing. something about the kick sounds too aggressive, even though I wanted to have the transient pinch through a little bit. It's the wrong flavor. Maybe I need to address the time shift again. Maybe this one. Much of this. Nice, nice, nice. 2 a.m. No, it is 10:43. It's Germany. Is it 2 a.m. for you? Is it in the middle of the night at your place? This is an unusual time for me to stream here. Usually I'm just chilling and planning my day, but today I just decided to jump straight into the project. Okay, let's take this signalizer and put it on the snare. Oh, right, I need the window setting with beat. So the basic setting of Manta is a little bit extreme. I should have probably made the default preset different, because the first thing I always do is disable these two filters. So why would that not be the default preset, right? Some might wonder, why would you use Manta to EQ the snare or anything instead of a normal equalizer, if you also belong to the people who are wondering about that. The reason is the following. An equalizer always starts at 0 decibel, and then from there you can make things quieter or louder. In Manta you can only make things louder, so this is basically the same line, but the reason why you can only make things louder is because this uses bandpass filters and this is a bell filter. So if you were to use a bandpass here, then you would only get to 0 and not be able to make things louder. You could change the Q to a very narrow setting, which would be the equivalent of resonance here, and you can change the frequency, which is the equivalent of pitch here. But here it is basically pitch as well, because there is this keyboard. It's just called frequency for some reason. And the big difference between Manta and Pro Q is, after the bandpass has been made, you can change the gain of the bandpass. And here you can only change the overall gain of everything. And there can only be one bandpass. You cannot instantiate another bandpass. Well, you can, but it will not let the band through, because these are not parallel and these are parallel. So that's why Pro Q cannot be used for what I'm doing. The reason why this is useful is extremely sharp bandpass filters make the sound longer, they resonate. So if you make something really sharp so that it rings out, and then you compensate for the sharpness by making it really quiet, then you get a sound that resonates hard, but it's not too much in the way, which is pretty cool. A workflow that you only get from plugins that have parallel bandpass filters. Except Morph EQ maybe. I once bought Morph EQ by Minimal Audio and they also have parallel bandpass filters, but there also you cannot change the gain of each bandpass filter. It was totally a missed opportunity by Minimal Audio. When they released their plugin, I almost felt like my idea to make this plugin was not worth it, but then I felt very relieved because they were lacking the gain parameter. And I went to their forum to tell them, yo, would you like to add a gain parameter, because I want to be fair about this and tell people, you know, your plugin is really cool. I want it to be even cooler, but they didn't add it. So this is still a privilege of my plugin, which is nice. Thanks, Minimal Audio. Nice. Oh, I should have added a gain out for the entire gain. This is only a wet out and this is a dry out. I don't have a complete gain out. That would be useful now. I should reconsider. I want to make a second version of Manta someday anyway, so I will just keep it in mind. Nice, nice. Okay, this was pretty cool. Let's see the toms. The toms sometimes get not enough attention because they don't often do something. So, oh wait, there was one part where I really liked toms in this track, so let's actually check how it sounds in this part. Okay, it still sounds cool in this part, but the part in general sounds weird. The drums are just played in a completely different way here. Like they were always played really smooth, like nice dynamics and stuff, and then suddenly it's like why? Okay, I can see some of the problem. The kick sometimes is being played with the snare at the same time, and that usually doesn't happen. So let's find a solution for that. Because they clash in phase. I can really hear the phase clash when they play both together. So maybe one should duck the other. And I think... what should be ducked? Something of the kick or something of the snare? Can I use Sooth for this? Is Sooth a good solution for this? That's the big question. I'm on the kick now. Sidechain input from the snare. Or is Sooth overkill? I don't know. Close mics, snare master. Okay. Okay, I only want to reduce the part of the signal that is clashing, so something in the low end. Did that help? Let's only play the part where it happens. I actually don't want to make details like that just early on in the project, but it's just what just caught my attention, so I will do it. Okay, I think that helped a little bit, but it's just incredible how hard you have to go with Sooth in order to even hear a difference. It's kind of really subtle plug-in even on the harder settings. Always fascinating to see. Wait, it still sounds kind of wonky. Is it because of the non-closed mics? No, it's not because of them. They sound okay. Maybe it's because of the drums in general. Are they louder on this note? Yeah. I mean, maybe a little bit too loud there. I think the purpose of that note is to stick out, but it is okay when it only sticks out in tone and not in volume. Maybe I should take away Sooth again. It can sometimes make more damage to have tons of filters applied at the same time, and instead just handle it the traditional way with a compressor. Wait, before I use Presswerk. Oh, I think I'm on the wrong track even. Shit. Yeah, this is the instance. Before I use Presswerk, I use a little bit of look ahead. Yeah, okay, that helped. Now, actually compressing. Oh, that plop is annoying. Cool, cool. So now, what is the next thing to do in this track? Let's just listen.
I saw you in my street. You smiled at me and I looked away. You caught me in my dreams. When will I see you again? Will I see you again? You caught me in my dreams. You caught me.
Okay, I've got something. It is time for the harmonies. There are these chill parts, and in these chill parts, there are always these sounds. I want them to be more consistent. So what I'm going to do is saturating them, because that's always a lot of fun. Nice. I want to know if they are clashing with the bass line, since they have some pretty low notes there. Bass line check. Not exactly clashing, but still the difference could be made a little bit more clearer. Maybe I should mute the vocals, because this is not the vocal take that I will finally using, it's just the demo take. Sometimes I like to still play them so that I can get an overall idea of the sound. second chill part. It has this little part in it. Old tapes, perfect style for this kind of sound, for the high end of it. It rolls off the high end a little bit. It's overall a little bit too much. Here is a very problematic part. This one is really hard to judge what has to be done in. Because I'm not quite sure what the sounds mean yet. I'm not quite sure yet. There are two sounds and one of them is an acoustic guitar. It's a very percussive acoustic guitar that always just say, to me it says dib-dib-dub, like this Kika Nienchen thing. I don't know if you all know that. It always reminds me of that, which is probably not what the intention of this sound was, but that's what I always feel like, because it's a children's TV thing. Anyway, so maybe let's disregard the second track for now and only see what we can do with the acoustic guitar. So what does this acoustic guitar tries to do? What is its function here? So it has this function to sometimes put some emphasis on certain notes by being a little bit more loud there, and then it has a little bit groove in between. That is part of its function. Okay. And are these transients more or less consistent? So not quite. Maybe let's just start with that. Okay. next thing that I could imagine is having control over the dynamic range, like the difference between the highest transient and these lower ones. That would be an interesting control to have here. So let's use an expander. What if I'm actually using an upwards expander here? Oh, unfortunately that also adds some serious peak levels. I kinda imagined that to just bring up the lower notes, but it doesn't work like that. Okay, that's a shame, but that means I must try something different if I wanna find a setting like that. Let's deactivate that just and use another instance of MB and try something else, like the normal compressor maybe. But it's not exactly what I want. I wanted the lower ones to be louder than the quiet ones. I mean the quieter ones to become the louder ones and the louder ones to become the quieter ones. So kind of turn that around. I don't know if that's possible with any type of compressor. That confuses me right now. No, it doesn't seem very possible. So let's just disregard that. It's better that way anyway. Okay. Compression. Now, of course, that added some peak power. But I do like the new groove that it adds, because by adding a very long release time, it kind of makes these lower volume notes come in, like with some sort of subtle fade. Which is kind of cool. I really like the low mids of the guitar, but I think they clash with the snare. Yeah. Okay, that sucks. What can be done about that? Any ideas? Maybe some sidechain multiband compression. Oh, but it's getting so fancy again. I don't like to go too fancy too early, but I still have to try. So which one will I use for that? Or just the snare one, I guess. Snare, 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 snare. Okay, let's see if it helps. It does. Okay, that definitely helps. That was a good idea. Okay, good, good. Where does the second melody come from? Oh yeah, that is the bass line. That is not really a bass line because it's too high in melody. How high is it actually? So one of the lowest frequencies here is 85 Hertz, which is very high. Maybe this part is not meant to have a strong bass line. Maybe it's meant to be pretty free of bass so that it kicks in harder when the part ends. But the part is pretty long, so I could try adding some bass with octaving. Kilohertz pitch shifter, an octave down. What would it do? It sounds pretty unnatural. But how does it sound together? Not a fan yet. But it's also not very clean. Maybe it's because of that. Okay, now it's maybe a bit of volume shaping. They probably used some sort of chorus modulation on this bass line, and that's why it has so much phasiness in it. A common technique for respaces, but I don't personally like it so much on electronic bass guitars. signal looks pretty clean at most places, just a little bit spiky here and there. But okay, how does it now work with other signal together? Pretty okay. Not sure. It's like not very convincing. It's just too all over the place, this whole chorus modulation thing. I will just mute it for now and instead fix the basic sound first. I think it's a bit in the way with the other instruments. Yeah, just giving the sound itself a little bit more strength does help. So let's just disregard the layer now. I just had a cool idea. Maybe I can actually get some nice bass frequencies out of the kick drum, but only in this part. By making a new audio track, and this I will put it into the part so that I can actually see it whenever I'm working on the part, even though it's technically part of the drums. So I will call this kick 808-ish, because it's going to be a send track, so to say. Audio receiver from the kick. Kick, where's the kick? Okay, so now the kick is twice as loud, which is obviously not what I want. But what I want is manipulating its feedback. Maybe with riff feedback light. So I can just test it by making this quieter. Cool. Now I just need to have a MIDI input. This is getting a little bit creative, considering that it's more of a mixing session, but I want to have some bass there. And I feel like the bass line is not really meant as a bass instrument in this part. So I will just surprise the band with whatever I'm creating now and find out if they like it. Now I instantiated this with Synth 1, not because I want to keep Synth 1 in the project as a sound, but just so that I can compose the melody that I need. Okay. Oh, oops. Is this an audio track or what? Did I accidentally make an audio track with synth 1 on it or what? Oh, no. It was just the wrong track on which I was clicking. Oh, this is actually the same note. Maybe I should just write the same melody for now. See where that goes. I mean, it will be the same at the end, I guess. Now the melody is already the correct one, so let's deactivate synth 1 and instead just note receive from synth 1, from the synth 1 track. Okay. Okay, it does sound kind of cool, and since it plays the same melody as the bass line, it's almost unnoticeable that it's totally not the bass line, which is kind of cool. I didn't expect that to happen. That is very useful. Wait, what? No, this should be just here. Okay. So now that I have that, I should rename this to the MIDI. Okay, because it doesn't matter if there is synth 1 on this track. Now I just need to make sure that the bass line goes out of the way of the kick a little bit whenever it happens. Since it feedbacks directly from it, it also gets a little bit in the way. Actually, I cannot use MIDI for that. It has to be a compressor. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's give this a little group. Now check how it clashes with the bass line. It does sound a little bit clashy. Yeah, I think they share the same fundamental frequency, but the difference is that my 808-ish sound doesn't have this chorusy vibe on it. So it would make sense to just take the bass line and remove the low end from it with linear phase so that it doesn't get in the way. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Cool. Maybe I can even make another layer of that. That would be pretty nice. Let's find out if that works. FX layer, now the upper layer has these two. So this is the upper layer and this is the lower layer with an octave deeper even. Let's see how that sounds. wanna get even more creative with the bass line. Maybe a little phaser to make it breathe. It's time for the other track, the horror track. Oh, I totally know what this track tries to tell me. I just saw that I don't have any viewers right now anymore. I hope some of them will get back soon, because I just had a really cool idea. I wanna write down the same melody as this guitar is playing, so that I can again use a MIDI triggered effect on that. Okay, now I will disable synth 1 again and instead just make a layer on this horror guitar and a note receiver on the beginning, receiving from the horror MIDI track. No drums, horror G, horror MIDI, MIDI. And now this layer will be the reverb layer, also starting with riff feedback light. So now I have to get a little bit creative here. Maybe I should make a macro modulator for that. I want the low pass to go up whenever I want to send a feedback through. Oh no, it has to be two different automations. I just realized. Oh, that sucks. Because right now, if I did this, it would sound like this. Oh, actually, that's what I need. It's a bit too much with feedback, though. Also use the high pass, but the other way around. Okay, and a little bit of spread. That was already too much. Great. Okay, good. guitar can bring back the dry signal finally. Nice. Hello, person who is there. I'm currently trying to make this track more exciting. A guitar that is supposed to sound like some sort of horror guitar. And what I did there was I was splitting the signal in 2 layers, and one of these layers receives the MIDI notes from what the guitar is playing, and then sends it into a comp filter, and then into a reverb, and then into a compressor. And since I'm modulating the filter of the input filter of this comp filter, I'm kinda turning it on and off. And now I wanna make another layer like this, but this time I wanna use my plugin Nell because it also has a mode that can be used very nicely for something like that. The audio rate mode. Because it creates a vibrato that is like as fast as the pitch that comes in, which is basically phase distortion. pretty cool, but I still need to filter out most of the signal for this to make more sense. Gladly, Grift filter light is the key tracked filter when being set to MIDI, so it can be used as a bandpass. It doesn't have a gain knob itself, so I have to use the one in Nell. Okay, good. Now I need to make another macro here for the second modulation, and it will dial in a little bit of spread here. And we'll dial in the macro that I have in Nell. And then it will dial in a ladder filter. Like maybe it even comes before. Yeah, it sounds good. Now reverb. Oh nice, when it modulates the size control, it adds a little bit of pitch drift. Too much. Nice. Okay, should have enough material from that automation. now the sound really comes to life. Before. After. Nice, nice. Now this is a very important synthesizer line here because the track is called Golden Rule, and this is the only synthesizer line that I can see in the whole project that sounds kinda golden to me. So I will have to put an extraordinary amount of attention to this synth line. The reverb sounds dangerous. Yeah. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not quite sure how you mean that. It should be a good thing, right? When the guitar should sound like horror. Or do you mean like it sounds dangerous, like it could pop out too much? Okay, good. Good. That's nice. Anyway, what I was just about to say about the synth line is that I'm kind of running out of attention span right now. So I need to stop the stream at this point. I hope it was fun to everyone who was around until now. And the ones that were here before. And yeah, thanks for coming around, and see you next time when I'm making a stream of some stuff.